Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another NerdTube Star Trek episode review. We're here tonight talking about Lower Decks Season 5, Episode 9, Fissure Quest. It wouldn't be a NerdTube Trek review if I wasn't joined by some Trekkies in arms. To my left, I've got Lord Donkey. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Now we have a great episode to review.
We do. That's a little bit of a change of pace. Cheeto, how are you tonight, sir?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in there. Glad to be here, though. Excited to talk about tonight's episode. And finally, we are, of course, joined by Santa Claus because it is still December. How are you, Santa?
Hi. Merry Christmas, mate. Merry Christmas, my friend. I'm very happy. I'm feeling very jolly. Christmas is just around the corner, and I had a very good time watching this episode of Lower Decks.
All right. So, yeah, we can just get right to it. Start with some overall impressions of this episode, which I personally enjoyed and I feel like is a meta critique of almost every metaverse story or multiverse story. It was so meta too.
I'm the only one getting out alive, y'all.
Of course.
This is my new shirt from my friend. It's got all kinds of little ships on it, and I should look for the Cerritos. Anyway, not to derail us.
No, by all means. We can just go ahead. We've got comments. Everyone's a red shirt but Donkey. Yeah. Why don't we do some overall impressions? We'll start with you, Donkey, since we'll go counterclockwise.
Sure.
Change of pace.
I feel like this is what we've been waiting for since that first episode where they kind of took a stroll through the multiverse. Now we're really getting into it, and it was great on its own, but I feel like it had some good moments of commentary on multiverse as a whole, as a idea for all kind of sci-fi, how it gets to be exhausting, but also there can be a purpose to it. So I really liked that interaction. So good setup for the end of the season, I think. I was very happy with it. And for one very particular reason, and I'm sure Cheeto knows exactly what that reason is.
Listen, I marked out for that moment too. The only thing I didn't mark out for was the one person being a hologram. I won't get into it right now, but that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I was questioning
it's a cop out.
Yeah, I feel like it was like, but
it works for the Doctor. It can work. I feel like there needed to be more explanation there, but I'm not taking points away.
And I mean, those original actors were back. Alex Sadig and what's his name?
I know. I was so happy to see all their names pop up after. Anyway, yes.
All right, we'll transition to you, Cheeto. What were your overall impressions of this week's episode?
I love this episode. There were one or two things where I was just kind of like, really? But like, other than that, I really love this episode. I thought that this episode was, as Donkey said, a great, like, it felt more like a parody on the multiverse rather than I felt it was more of a parody, but at the same time, I didn't mind it. So, I was on board with this for most of the episode. I loved having, and I don't remember their names. I'm terrible with names, but like, T'Pol's actor, at least actor voicing again, Alexander Sadig, huh?
Jolene Balok.
Yeah, Jolene Balok. There we go. Garrett Wong came back for all the Kims, which that's kind of one of my gripes is the way that kind of thing whole planned out. But I don't know. I really enjoyed this episode a lot.
Excellent. And we'll move on to Santa Claus.
Now, Zam and I, we have a similar opinion nearly on everything, funnily enough. And I remember him talking about that one episode where they were following the Klingon around and he was like the main character. And I think there was another episode where we were really following other people around and not our lower decks. Oh, yeah, we're the upper decks episode, which was really hit as well. this time around, what we got was what I think I kind of hinted on in the past, where I said I don't mind straying away from the main crew, but give us something familiar, and boy, did we get it! You know,
Hmm.
we got Enterprise, Voyager, DS9. It was all in there. You know, I mean, I have to say, regarding DS9. You really got a handful today. You know, like they really gave you a big fat sack of goodies. You know, so
Nice
I
little sack of
enjoyed this
goodies.
episode because this was a good fan service episode, done well, done cleverly. And this is, if you're gonna stray away from the main cast, this is how you have to do it. You know, like
Yeah,
this.
do it rooted in what Lower Decks does best, and that's loving referential humor.
Which is really weird because like it felt like it was a Boimler Mariner episode, but it really wasn't
Because it wasn't our Boimler or Mariner.
yeah. So
Hmm.
that's what really made it stand out for me, was that I'm like, this feels like it's their episode, but it's really not. And I'm glad we
Yeah.
got to see I almost called him Mirror Boimler, but I mean he's the duplicate Boimler, even though he said that
William.
even though he said that the other one is the duplicate. And I laughed
Well,
out loud when I
naturally.
heard him say
Mhm.
that.
Well, even though we got multiverse characters, they were all pretty similar to who they were as we saw them. You know,
I don't know,
maybe
Mariner felt
Bashir.
very different.
No. I'm not
Right.
talking about Mariner.
Engineering.
I'm
Afraid.
talking about the legacy characters. Maybe apart from the
Oh.
Harry Kims, but there was such an abundance of them. You
No,
know, but
Harry
everyone
Kim
else,
felt really different. Actually, it was very out of
yeah.
character, in my opinion.
Although there were so many of them, but I thought everyone else, maybe the Doctor was a little bit different because he was a hologram. You know, but everyone else felt like they
That's the
were.
whole damn reason they did that joke. Because the Doctor on Voyager was. I get it now. Wow. I'm
Well,
in an Explorer over
and
here.
remember in that one episode where they outed Julian as an augment.
Okay. Oh,
No, sorry. Not in official canon.
not in the Prime universe.
Not in the Prime universe, but
Hmm.
no, but they were going to update the emergency holographic doctor, the EMH, to
The Bashir.
to Dr.
So it
Bashir's
is rooted in
image.
something.
Yeah, it is. It is a Easter egg.
Okay.
This is what would have happened if that actually would have went through. But in the Prime timeline, it did not, because of extenuating circumstances with Bashir. I don't know. I don't know if you finished DS9 yet, Donkey. So that's why I'm like,
I am on Enterprise. We are halfway through the first season because this is back when there were 26 episodes a season. I thought we were done with the first season at 13 episodes.
oh no,
So it was
no.
great to see T'Pol in this
Mhm.
episode. I hit Mike. I was like, you know who that is? I know who that is. Okay.
Like Garak has never been a doctor, but he was a doctor here. But he was still like the Garak we saw on DS9. You know,
Mhm.
he had a secret set
That
of
made me
skills.
so happy.
Yeah,
No,
but
he was
I
just
mean, it's kind of similar because they can both do a stitch. So I mean, both Taylor Garrick and Dr. Garrick can both stitch. So
Mm.
and like the Paul,
Enterprise is a long
she might
ride.
have only been the same to Paul. There was nothing remotely different about her.
the other was she was married to Trip Tucker for 53 years.
No, I'm
Didn't
talking
die in
character.
that moment, but the characterization.
Spoilers.
Yeah, the characterization. I know she's obviously
What do you mean
from a
spoilers?
multiverse.
She was married to who?
Trip.
In the show or in this episode?
In this episode, that version of DePaul was married to Trip for 53 years.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I caught that she was married to someone, but
Have we ever
not that
seen
it was
K's
Trip.
on Dax before, by the way, in the flesh?
We've seen images of him, and there was one episode where Curzon's essence was put into Odo, and then Odo kind of gave himself more of a Curzon-esque look.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was some kind of process where like all of the symbiote's previous hosts could be like exhumed from the trill from the
The
symbiote
symbiote.
and put into different people. And so it was really a great episode because
They did.
Curzon was in Odo, and then there was the murderous one was in Cisco. So Cisco got to play like the homicidal maniac that they put in the brig. It was so great. Listen, Donkey, you've got to finish DS9.
I'm watching Enterprise. I'm doing them chronologically.
Oh God.
I
So
I
next
even
up is
thought,
TOS.
I even thought Mariner at times, she kind of reminded me of our Mariner a lot. It was only a little bit here and there when she would say, "Oh, I don't like going for adventure." Well, I'm glad he told me that because as far as I was concerned, you're very similar.
Yeah,
So,
she
yeah.
loved to gripe, just
Yeah.
like Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she did like that moment where like Bremler was actually soothing or swooning over her when she was talking about like running diagnostics and whatever, and then Bremler's like, he's like, There's your first hint. There, everybody, there is your Boimler Mariner relationship. Now, just stop, please. I don't want any of them to
I'd be
get
okay with
together.
that. Yeah, let those two get together.
No, yeah, let them two
Oh.
get together. I don't want the Prime ones to get together.
Oh, okay. See where you're going.
Speaking of Voims, full beard. Full beard for the duplicate and 5 o'clock shadow for the William Boimler.
Yeah.
Nice little way for us to differentiate them, but no, the beard has come full circle.
Yep. Next episode, it's getting shaved off. I'm telling you, he's gonna have to. It's either gonna get shaved off or burned off to save the whole thing.
Beard's got to go.
Twist at the end.
No. But no, we started this episode. We really have kind of 3 plot threads. The main William Boimler plot thread and the lesson he has to learn about getting his spark for exploration of the multiverse back. The fight between the Garrick and Hollow Bashir. And the Curzon and T'Pol antagonistic relationship. I liked that they didn't seem to. The problem with that Upper Decks episode, or one of the many problems with the Upper Decks episode, was that they had so many plot threads going. I felt like I feel like keeping it to 3 and having a more traditional episode really helped this week's entry.
Would you say the first plot? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Would you say the first plot thread was in conjunction with the multiple Harry Kims as well?
Oh, absolutely. That whole main situation.
Okay.
But it felt like this was a much better use of the let's park the main cast, the main characters, and go off on the side. This felt like a much better use of that than Upper Decks. Like this was a good reason to veer away.
Yeah, I think my 2 favorite episodes are like the Klingon episode and this episode of this season. I really enjoyed those 2. And yes, Mariner and Boimler was in the Klingon episode, but again, it really felt like a departure from the norm of Lower Decks. Whereas this episode also felt a bit of a departure from the norm of Lower Decks.
Yeah, agreed. For sure. You know, what did you guys think about using the Lieutenant Kim as an exposition sponge in the first act? That's what
if I could just say that, I think how they pulled it off was very clever. Because initially, we got a bunch of Harry Kim. We're going to do the old Harry Kim joke that's been going on for almost 30 years now. And it was all very clever, but how they intertwined it into the story was very well done. So credit to them. They rehashed an old joke and they made it part of the story too. So
but so here's my thing. I really honestly think that the Harry Kim, like Lieutenant Kim thing, was it was fine, but like then he became the villain of the episode, and that's why I was just like, this is like,
Yeah,
I mean, I
It's-
get like if
it's
this was
multiverse.
Mirror Universe
it was a
Kim,
bit of a stretch.
yeah, like even like if this was like Mirror Universe Kim, I could see that, like where he try to abduct the ship and like whatever, go. But honest and truly, it's like this Harry Kim seemed relatively normal out the gate. Now, if there was a reveal that he was like an evil Kim, that like he's the one who destroyed his Voyager,
Oh,
and that's why he was picked up in the pod, I could see that. I could see that, and I would be okay with that. I could be like, okay, there's a reason why this Kim is evil, but he just seemed like a normal Kim when he came on board, and it seems like a stretch for him to be like, I'm taking all these Kims to my universe where they can be promoted. I'm like, no, that and then there's no context, like there's nothing around that really contextualizes that Kim for being different like that. As I said, I could see it if there was some big reveal with Kim being bad, this Kim being bad, or at least nefarious in some ways. But like there was nothing. It was just normal Harry Kim turning psychotic. And it's like, he's like, I have 2 pips. Okay. Like, I don't think Harry Kim's that dumb.
He's just disappointed in himself across an infinite number of multiverses.
I'd just like to have my rebuttal on that, please, because I just look like we have a whole bunch of normal Harry Kims, and this is a multiverse at the end of the day, and so there are going to be subtle differences here and there. And this one went a little bit over the edge. He's not the same as all the others. He did get promoted while the others didn't. There are things that make him different, and I don't mind. He's not our Harry Kim. He's a different one.
I'm not saying that he's our Harry Kim. I'm just saying, like, if there was something around that Harry Kim that
does he have to be notorious?
Made him a bit more nefarious. Like he's the one who blew up the Voyager or whatever ship he was on in his universe. That's why the ship was destroyed. Like they didn't even do anything with that. They just found him on a pod, on an escape pod, and he was a normal Harry Kim when they beamed him over. Again, I know there's a multiverse. I know they're all different, but at the same time, this Harry Kim descended into madness too quickly, in my opinion.
Okay.
It did feel like it was a quick turn to
off
madness there. Yeah. I mean, it's a short episode. It's not.
Actually, this one was long. This one
was
28
a longer
minutes.
It was 28, but it's still not a 45-minute, hour-long thing. So it felt a little rushed just because it's the shorter show. But I don't know. It was more comical than I found it more funny that he went mad than having a problem with it, I guess.
As I said, that's really my only gripe about this episode was just the quick descent of madness into the Harry Kim went into.
They did show him lurking and like giving the side eye, like getting mad, I guess. But
that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like if they just would have given him more of a nefarious background, I think it would
be jarring, right? He came on this pod, maybe his Voyager did blow up, but he gets around all these other Kims like, wait, I'm the only one that's gotten promoted? You're so disappointed in yourself, and then he starts to just lose it.
Yeah, but then I could see him wanting to kill all the Kims, but he's like, I'm going to take you guys to my universe and where we can all get promoted. And I'm like,
which is a nonsense idea.
Exactly.
Right out of the gate, because Starfleet's, oh look, this ship full of Harry Kims. Why should we promote you? You have to
be a problem. Like,
you
where
need to
are
be
they
sent
going to
back.
distribute them to?
Right.
Every ship gets a Kim, and you get a Kim, and you get a Kim. Everybody gets a Kim.
Or it's the USS Harry Kim, and it's just full of Harry Kim.
Oh God.
Oh, that could get interesting.
Real quick.
Just say Daniel Vance had a comment here. It says, and those Axetol's multiverse Paris Janeway creatures all grown up. Are they? I thought that they were some other creatures that they'd encountered in Lower Decks before. I thought that they were in another episode.
The Quapians? I believe the Quapians have been at least mentioned before.
Yeah, I think
This
I've
is a
not
seen them.
coffee.
Quafian.
Oh no, there
I have
they
a
are, right down
Quafian
there.
in my hand. Quafian.
Yes, yes, beautiful.
It's cute but dangerous.
This was when they went to warp 10 and they became axolotls, or
I don't think so. Like those are not. Those things were from another episode. I remember.
okay.
It wasn't Moopsy because they made mention of something about drinking their bones, and I'm
They
like,
made
I
a
know.
Moopsy reference.
but I'm like,
That was
those are
great.
not Moopsies.
No, they're not.
At least they're
They
not
do
going to
look-
drink our blood, our bones.
They do look just like axolotl, though.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to understand that like Boimler's mirror or well, not mirror, it's not even mirror Boimler. It's for the transporter Boimler. That's what it used to be called. Like more competent Boimler. I don't know, yeah. But regardless, like he just wanted to chase these people because they were making rifts in space. Is that correct?
I mean, he was assigned to do it by Section 31.
Okay. Sorry. Just his motivations were kind of lost on me a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, he was tasked by
He had
Section
the
31
black communicator.
to find out who was making these rifts and stop them. And along the
Oh.
way, that's where he picked up all of these multiversal variants. Along. So I kind of wish we would have gotten a little bit of a flashback. Of like from where we left him in season what 2 to like.
No, it was so long ago.
I know, like like where we left him in season 2, and
Yeah.
like just a quick flashback to like how he got to where he is now, maybe where he met some of these multiversal variants, like just a quick thing, like 2-3 minutes, not like the whole intro to Enterprise. It's been a long road.
Please stop.
Hi,
Never.
Winnie. Hey, Rusty.
I've been casting it, Enterprise, and it doesn't have a skip intro button.
Good.
Hello, Rusty. I hope you've been a good little boy. I believe you're a boy. I hope you've been a good little
Yeah.
boy, and I give you a big fat piece of my goodies for Christmas. And welcome, Winnie. Welcome. I thought she said halai or halal, but it says hola. Okay, hola to you.
Yeah, it's good to have so many folks with us tonight. We have, just a legacy character reference fest. But kind of you guys are onto something with the descent feels too quick. And I feel like Lord Donkey's really onto something with if it had the 45-minute runtime. So I almost wish there had been I know we're going to get part 2 of this next week. I'd like to see I wish it could have been a 3-parter.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Me too.
agree?
I
Well,
do.
it kind of will be in a way almost,
It's a
since it's
two-parter
a
though,
28-minute runtime. We're getting an
What is it?
extra, what,
We have a comment here from
5
Miss
minutes.
12 minutes
From-
total?
Maya Garrison. I want to know how Clone Boimler got so disillusioned. Feels like there is a story there.
Well, I mean, that's kind of why I
He's
was saying it
burnt
would kind of be
out.
nice to have a little bit of a flashback at the beginning
Yeah.
of the episode.
All we
Zam, you know
got
that the
was-
comments are over here on the right side, right?
I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm Xanta. My name is not Zam.
Yeah. Okay, Xanta.
He's gotten burned out and disillusioned by having to
You
close
have
all these
no
rifts.
idea how busy it is filling up my sacks for this upcoming Christmas. Knowing that I have to go all over the world and spread my goodness on all the lovely people. I want to spread my goodness on their faces. Just to see them smile as they get it. Oh, you have no idea. You're gonna get a piece of
Santa,
gold.
don't you have replicators for that?
No. I have elves.
That sounds like questionable labor.
Yes, I know. I don't have replicated. I have reindeers.
No, the South Pole does not have any, laws against elf labor.
We have our own oil.
Actually, at the South Pole, he doesn't have elves; he has dwarves.
All right. We're missing the best part though.
For me, the most best part was what's her face from First Contact.
We
Lily?
haven't gotten into that yet.
Yeah, like I was thinking about is that Mariner's mom? No, it's Lily from First Contact, and the fact that she's a slider as far as her version of the Federation and the revelation that the Federation they've created is a multiverse Federation which goes into different universes and finds better versions of themselves. I love that concept. It's very good.
Yes.
It's very good.
So yeah, but okay. So you ready for my nitpick here? God, I love nitpicking.
Your nip and pick.
They
It's
have
not going
no-
to change
they-
my score.
They have no idea what warp drive is. Like she even said it. She said, "What's a warp drive?" And it's like, so you're transcending universes. So are you just like showing up at random spots in other universes? Like, how do you get back to Earth? Like, can you set the coordinates?
That's a good
Sounds
point.
like it. It's like the spore drive; they just appear.
Considering
Rip.
they've been in other universes, they must have come across warp drive. I mean,
She
said
said,
somebody-
"What's warp drive?"
I know. Which is it's bad writing. I totally agree.
Hmm.
They have seen all manners of magnificent things. Spaceships the size of continents. She said.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't know what
Mhm.
warp drive is.
Built rings around the sun.
The sun doesn't know what warp drive is. I know. Is that crazy? What
So-
is freaking happening? You're in a multiverse, Winnie. Multiverse.
In this age of all the multiverse stories, like with MCU doing it and kicking it off, that was the best new idea around the multiverse I've seen. Like, let's go see what we're like in other universes and document it, and just keep exploring that way.
I liked how they had come up with their own version of the Prime Directive.
Yes,
Remember
it was
what
a
their version
great
was?
take.
Their version was to not interact with species that hadn't developed reality hopping technology yet.
But it feels
So-
like that this technology is very early in its stage because they obviously had no idea that they were opening rifts elsewhere. So it's not like this was like
Mhm.
some tried and true technology. Like I feel like this was just
Yeah. Well, it's Enterprise
Even
era, right?
They're
So
gonna get detected the moment they're in any part of space. Somebody's gonna know their bloody ship is there. Like they don't have to make a contact with anybody. Do people be trying to make contact with them?
This is a good point. I
Hmm.
think we're onto a major plot hole.
I wish I never thought of all these things now. It's kind of making me want to give the show a lower mark, even though I had a very good time with it.
so
Yeah.
when he says I can drive a stick and not know how it works, she can drive, just doesn't know how it works.
it's fair.
So
Yes, but again, but this seems like it was kind of like a way they've been doing space travel, but at the same time, it feels like this is something they probably should have known about with testing. I feel like even on a
Are we
minor
talking-
scale.
we're talking
Yeah,
about the
look-
grind directive here.
Well, and this ship looked like it wasn't much more advanced than the Phoenix.
No, it really
So-
did
So
it.
it's not even really Enterprise era. Like
Agreed.
No, it's
like
because
an
technically
X01, it's earlier.
First Contact took place 100 years before Enterprise.
Hmm.
So I mean, it can't be Enterprise era. It's got to be. I mean, Tilly did look older, or not Tilly. Lily. Yeah, Lily looked older, but I mean, she wasn't like elderly. And
Yeah,
technology in
Was she a scientist? She wasn't even. I can't even remember. She was like a rebel. I don't remember her being a scientist.
No, she was wearing command color. She had yellow.
No, but does she have any form of science?
I think she was wasn't she an engineer? Because she helped
I have
Zephyr and
no
Cochrane
idea.
build the rocket. I don't think she
Yeah.
understood warp drive though. I think she understood like how to
The
build
rocket
something.
system.
Yeah, maybe. Daniel
My
Vance
garage
said,
says,
go ahead.
sorry, a hard agree.
Oh, I already read that one.
Okay. Oh, did you?
I wonder if this somehow relates to why the universe is no longer connected in Disco's time and why Giorgio had to use the Guardian of Forever to investigate the issue. I have no idea.
Be a good
Maybe they'll
connection.
connection.
If they
Yeah,
thought
maybe
it.
they'll.
That's what it came from. Yeah.
If they did that, I'd give them a round of applause and shave my beard.
Guys, though, we're still missing the best part of the whole episode. The
I know
ship
what it
was
is.
named the Beagle.
What?
The ship was named the
The
Beagle.
ship was named the Beagle.
Mm-hmm.
Their ship,
That's
the reality jumping ship. And the only reason I got my husband to agree to watch Enterprise is because there's a dog on the show.
So it has to do with.
I think Donkey's thinking that the ship being named the Beagle is a nod towards Porthos.
Porthos, yeah.
Obviously, like,
Really?
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Sophia, my dog
Look at
agrees.
that.
My dog likes Porthos when Porthos comes on screen and barks.
What a lovely, beautiful baby you got there.
Okay.
Oh, what's their name?
This is Sophia.
Sophia. Oh,
She's named after
pretty.
Sophia Petrillo from the Golden Girls.
Not Sophia Patel from the corner shop down the road.
No.
Daniel Vance here. He says if the ship just changes the nacelle or orientation, they'll stop leaving rifts in other universes. Nodding at
Reverse
Voyager's
the polarity?
No, nodding at Voyager's oscillate. Is it oscillating? What is it?
Stop it.
Bendy?
No, the nacelles. You know how Voyager's nacelles come up when they go to warp?
Yeah.
Mhm. To get around the warp speed limit.
Yeah. No, well, no, the warp
Damaging
the warp speed
subspace.
damage.
So they
which
can
we
go
don't see in
past
any
this.
other ships ever, by the way. Like no other ships have that besides the Intrepid class. So maybe they figured out how to do it without having to alter the nacelles. Maybe, I don't know. I think they thought it just looked cool, and they were like, "Let's just do this."
Come up with an in-universe reason why you would do it.
They're like, "We'll let the fans figure that out. They're good at that." Little nitpicking son of a bitches.
They thought of you specifically.
Yeah, they did.
Young Cheeto.
I was more focused on 7 of 9 at that point. 7 of C cups.
We can't take you anywhere.
Highly illogical.
That is why he's getting called.
Pathfinder class does in as Star Trek Online.
Oh.
Okay.
What's it, Pathfinder? I don't understand.
Oh, thank you. I still have my Odyssey class in Star Trek Online that was free.
I always used the Defiant. I love the Defiant and
Well, I had the Defiant until I could get the Odyssey class.
I like
the Enterprise F.
A lot of people do not like the Odyssey class. I like the Odyssey class. I don't know why people hate it. I've met a lot of people that hate the Odyssey class.
Well, they're not real Star Trek fans. I can't say that. I can't say it with a straight face.
Yeah, we're not those types.
Yeah, we're not gatekeepers. We more help clean out the latrine.
Yeah.
For real. So Garrick and Hollow Bashir. So we have some sort of final kind of, I don't want to say canonization, but we have an on-screen representation of the fan base's inferred relationship between Garrick and Bashir all these years.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought that was pretty cool. How did everybody else think about that?
I mean, that sold the whole episode for me right from the beginning.
I don't know. Like, I've always thought that it is okay for somebody to who bats on the other side of for the other team to just be friends with somebody who doesn't. Bashir never came across somebody who swings both ways.
Bashir is
Or
very
if I'm wrong,
soft, and the who's it that plays Garrick?
Andrew Robinson.
I've seen an interview where he has said that
he's
he played
legendary.
it like he was in love with
Yeah,
Bashir.
I get that. I have the hots for many men. I have the hots for you, donkey. But you're married.
Stop.
So I'm never going to go there. Yeah.
All
Listen,
I want for Christmas is you, Santa Claus.
Listen,
You tell
guys,
your husband that.
I've got to bring it up, but I mean, listen, when did Star Trek get so woke? I'm sorry, but like, when did this horrible trend of Star Trek going woke or broke just begin? I mean, for real. And a gay kiss in animated form, I can deal with a real life gay kiss, but animated, that's purposeful.
Go home, Shatner. No, thank you.
That comment reminded me of this guy I heard on TikTok going, "No, I have no problems with gay people, but I just don't like seeing them on my TV." I'm like, okay,
I
well,
don't
you
like
do have a
seeing all that
fucking
Had a
problem with
problem.
gay people.
on TV.
Then
You do
don't
have a
watch
problem
straight
with gay-
people on TV either. Like what?
You do have a problem with gay
Why do
people.
I
who
get
don't like seeing them
why
on
do I get
TV.
heteronormative
I just don't like seeing them kissing
relationships
on
shoved in my
TV.
face? I didn't ask for that.
Chris says, and I am out of here. All right, bye. Nice seeing you. I guess come back if I don't know what.
Oh, wait, by the way, we're not. I was worried they wouldn't see the joke, Tito, because you're so
Nah,
American.
I have this cynicism like tone that like comes through very clearly. Where, and plus I'm pretty sure that they know, looking at Donkey up here, that we are definitely allies.
Well,
Or
Donkey could be like Marionopolis,
This
it could be one
flag
of the
has been touched by George
like a
Takei.
Dave Rubin.
So get out of here.
oh my,
Oh my. I made him laugh.
Excellent.
That's
I can believe it. You're a
After
funny
Dark
dude.
story.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Donkey is a cool dude.
Thank you. I try.
So after Garrick broke them out and they start repairing the Beagle, Lily kind of does what she did with Picard in First Contact, and she has to help play therapist for William Boimler and help him see the beauty in multiversal exploration.
0 out of
What?
10. She didn't tell him to blow up the damn ship.
No!
0 of 10.
0 out of 10.
What?
She didn't tell him to blow up the damn ship.
Ah,
Blow up the damn ship,
there's no
Boimler.
reason. You broke your little toy ship. No, this was another great moment in this episode where Boimler is so burnt out on the multiverse because he's just going around fixing stuff. And she's still it's not so bad when you're just exploring it and you're not fixing problems. Like showing him the other side of it and lighting that spark again.
Yeah, I thought it was a good moment. Cheeto, what'd you really think about that scene? 0
I thought
of 10?
it was good. I mean, it was. I thought it felt a little hand-fisty, but I kind of saw it coming with how they were building things up. But I still think it was a pretty good moment. So I wouldn't take anything away from it. Let me put it that way. It didn't feel pandering in any way. It didn't feel like it was insulting my intelligence in any way. So I thought it was good.
And Xanta, any feelings one way or the other about that scene?
No, I thought the way Donkey described it was perfect.
Another scene that stood out for me particularly was the death of Curzon in the end, and just how they resolved the seemingly antagonistic relationship between Curzon and T'Pol.
was one-sided. It's a bit like that with a lot of the Vulcans that we see. The antagonist side of it, apart from for Tuvok, is different with him. But everyone else, it just seems a bit one-sided when it comes. You have Bones is with Spock and all of that. And is it Telin and some her interaction with Tindy? It's just a one-sided interaction when it comes to the frustrations with between two colleagues, and one person is severely frustrated, the other person is just being themselves. But like I said, apart from Tuvok.
What about Tuvix?
They just
antagonistic
had to
with
make
himself.
another Tuvix reference. So how do you guys handle your Tuvix?
Did anyone hear? I don't think you heard the answer. I wanted to hear.
No, I would like to have known, but no, they left that
Oh,
unanswered.
they also
on
mentioned
purpose.
Borgified Kirk.
Oh yeah.
Workified Kirk.
That I want to see.
So look, I would not mind a
Human
show
Wolf.
like this where it's like a what if what if the Borg came to
What
Earth
if
100 years
Yeah.
earlier? Like what if like I wouldn't mind these what if Curzon survived and it was Curzon rather than Jadzia, like I would love, and I get it, like the Marvel what if has kind of been meh. I don't want to say it's been bad, but it hasn't blown my socks off either. So it's like I kind of would love to see this kind of thing where it's like they do like almost like the TVA, but of Star Trek. I've always said I would love a time travel show where it's like
What's the temporal unit in Star Trek?
Temporal investigations.
No,
Temporal
the temporal investigations. I would love a show around that, but like, what if they did more of a multi-dimensional one or multi-universal one rather than just going through the prime timeline and seeing all of the stuff.
My gosh, I totally agree. Curzon is becoming like Sean Bean.
Rest in peace.
No. One-sided kind of from Curzon, the antagonism. I agree. But the taking on the Katra of the Dax symbiont, I thought that was a clever move by the writers.
Yeah. Nice callback.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was kind of just like, I don't know. I thought they would go the route of T'Pol would take on the symbiote, because we know that in Star Trek, at least in the 20, and I know this is way in the future, but in the 32nd century, a human does have a Trill symbiote. So we know it's possible. Now, I'm not saying it would have been possible this time in medical, in medical history.
In TNG era, they have the ability to do that short term.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is a two-parter, so there's still more to come. It's not over yet.
Well, but I think they're insinuating the Dax symbiote is dead. Like, yeah, they're gonna transfer its Katra to another symbiote, but
the way they handled the passing off of the stories, it seems to me like all of next week's episode will be our Prime Universe crew that we're used to handling, saving their universe. So I kind of considered I'm acting as if they've finished the stories they introduced this episode.
I just wonder if we're going to get a satisfying conclusion, because, as I said, when they were writing and developing this season, they did not know that it was going to be the last season. They, most of the cast members didn't get word until they saw it on Twitter, that they said that it was the final season on one of the promo materials, and they're like, what? So you can assume that. I just don't think next season I don't think, honestly, at least with Discovery, they said they went back, they refilmed some scenes, and they made a satisfying conclusion. I mean, I hope they did that with Lower Decks and just nobody said anything. But I don't know. I don't want it to be this I don't want it to end on a cliffhanger, first off, and I don't think they would do that to us. I think they would end it they would change the ending in a way that at least felt final, not leave us with a cliffhanger, because unless they plan on picking up with it in some other show, I'm really going to feel pretty pissed about that, actually.
I just hope we have a long, decent length final
Long
episode, a 45-minute or something like that. That would be nice.
That'd be awesome.
Well, that's what they did with Discovery. They gave us a long
deserved
episode.
too. You know, give them an extra 15 or something since it's the last episode.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be hilarious if like all the additional scenes were filmed in real life? Like, and they did a green screen.
That'd be fantastic.
Like, if they're just like, wow, everything kind of feels kind of different now. And like, it's like all of the actors, like they're not even doing the animation. They're on a green screen, and like they're like, everything feels kind of different now.
No, even better. And it's on a holodeck on the Enterprise G, and that's how they launch Star Trek Legacy.
Oh my God. So, you know what? You haven't gotten to the end of Enterprise yet. You need to stop it right now.
I've watched that whole scene, so I know what's coming.
Don't do that.
Your cat is making Winnie's cat make a move.
Oh,
yep. And my cat's just knocked the lamp over.
Oh. Mine just jumps up and wants to make some bread and be petted, and then jumps away.
Make some biscuits.
Mm-hmm. And now he's just in front of the TV here, just chilling on the floor.
Oh, Rusty Rivers says, Mage, bring some of your acting to live streams. You got some skills. Use them. I mean, he hasn't called me a chatty human yet today. Or not human, it's human.
Human.
No.
Well, human is Ferengi.
Yes. No, all three of you could be my chatty humans.
Lord Donkey, just do yourself a favor. If you have not seen at least Mage's parts of some of these fan films that he's done, he makes an excellent TOS Klingon.
Okay. I need to know what to look up or links, please.
As a matter of fact, maybe you should watch the Constar the entire Constar the motion picture, so you can share in all 2 hours of its glory with us.
Do you want me to record a live react?
Well, we already did that. It's your turn now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we asked you to join us. It's only for 2 hours.
That's right. It was on the weekend, right? I think we were away somewhere. Sorry,
he was away.
We weren't at home. Sorry.
Blame the dog. That was fun but tiring for sure. Watching Constar.
Well, and we've also been asked to do another 2-hour fan film, so we're gonna recharge our batteries for a moment here. There's like a whole nother.
Make it a two-parter.
No, I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna watch it, and then we're gonna I think we might watch it together, but not stream it. But then we'll probably talk about it right afterwards, and I think we're doing
that makes sense, because that feels like that's just how we do this. So
yeah,
makes sense.
But the whole point of a fan film reaction is that they see us reacting to the fan film cold turkey, that. But yeah, this one
synchronize your watches. Just put it all together. It'll be like you're all talking, but not to each other.
Then we would be freaking talking over each other. You know how that would go. We don't shut up. At least if we're sitting here all watching it together, at least we know who's talking, so at least we can not interrupt each other.
Yeah.
We try our best. We still end up doing it.
All right, back to the episode.
We're way off the rails. Do we have any final thoughts? We've kind of went through the long and short of everything that's happened in the episode.
One thing I have is this felt like we didn't get to see the in between, which would have been nice. The going from William Boimler becoming Section 31 and being dead to now he's captain of a
actual captain, and he's got rid of the beard and he's got stuff.
He's got a sweet ship,
Yeah.
So we didn't get to see that in between, but I felt like this was a good way to tie off William Boimler, and it's nice that they didn't leave that thread unfinished.
Agreed.
So.
it would have been wasted potential for sure to leave that plot thread hanging.
It's
when they
actually
ended the
not.
show.
They actually did. They actually did it better than I thought they would, because I thought he was going to come back as some antagonist to the to the main cast, like not a villain, but like as Section 31, he was going to come back and be like, I'm with Section 31, like this is all secret. He would abduct Bwemler, like Brad Bwemler, and like they would then have to go on an adventure together, to do something for Section 31. I just thought he would be more of an antagonist, but in this, he actually is a pretty cool dude. He's even very supportive of the cast. He's like, no, like he's like, I trust the people in my universe to figure this out and to take care of it.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, like I did not expect that.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I forget.
You're gonna say that Cheeto is the man.
Well, that goes without saying.
Okay. Cheeto, do you have any final thoughts about the episode or anything that you think we should discuss that I didn't get to yet?
No, I mean, all my nitpicks aside, I think this was a really good episode. It was very enjoyable. So, I mean, the nitpicks aside, I don't think it was like episode breaking, but I do believe that I was able to just sit back and enjoy this episode with Dax and T'Pol and Garrick and Bashir and all the Kims. It was more well executed than I expected.
I enjoyed this one so much I went back and watched a third time. I always do. I do two since I host the review, but I had to watch a third time. I loved this episode. Xanta, you thought of what you had to say?
No, I had a good time with this episode. I said it earlier on, I had a good time with this episode, and yeah, there were some actually very glaring bottles. But regardless, when we get to marking, and I hope that's soon, it is it'll get a good mark from me for sure. Regardless of the glaring bottles, it did a good enough job for me not to spot it out until we started talking about it, and some people pointed some out.
Yeah, but no, it's time for marks. Lord Donkey, what you got for us?
Hold
Besides
on.
Laughter, that
I need to recover.
My stack.
Okay. Never mind. Two things real quick. What I forgot is that this Section 31 Brad Boimler should be in the movie with Giorgio. Anyway. Also, I feel like the rest of the season suffered because this episode was so good. Like they put a lot of effort into this episode, and some of the episodes suffered for that.
I don't disagree.
I don't disagree that this one makes the flaws of the other ones stick out even more as well.
There's really only been two standout episodes, in my opinion. For me, that's the Klingon one and this one. I'll have to go back and look.
The first one was good too.
First one was okay.
They stepped into the multiverse and came back just as a quick intro.
It was all right.
But then they didn't do anything else with the multiverse until now. So that would hurt overall marks of the season. But for this episode, I decided as soon as they introduced Garrick and Bashir that I was going to give it a 10, and I stuck with that.
I think your
any flaws, any nitpicks are washed away by how excited I was that they made Julian and Garrick official in some capacity.
I still think it's a cop out. They made him a hologram, though. I wanted real Bashir.
Joke. It's just a joke that the Doctor from DS9 is now a hologram, like Voyager.
Well,
I think
they also did that connection for, as I said, when Julian was supposed to become the replacement image of the EMH.
Yeah. So. I think there's two connections there. And maybe in his universe, that did happen, and the real Bashir died, and then Garrick fell in love with the EMH version, and that's what's happening now. So
the EMH is from a different universe. Remember, they're arguing over whose universe they're going to go back to.
Oh, that's right.
And
Well, either way,
Garrick's
maybe
keeping it going
maybe
for
the
the
other-
sake of arguing.
yeah. Maybe
Quit
Garrick-
making excuses for woke Trek, Lord Donkey.
Woke Trek is best Trek. That's my final parting thoughts.
All right, marks from Cousin Cheeto.
I'm gonna give this one an 8. As I said, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was. I enjoyed a lot of it. I almost gave it a 9, but I'm giving it a very solid 8.
Okay, solid 8. Xanta?
Sir, I was just very amused by this comment. Very funny.
Sorry, I saw
Yeah.
his name and just cringed.
Yeah, F that guy.
Yes. So, I was gonna give it a 9, but with the plot holes and all of that, it does grate me to a degree what you guys have been talking about and what we brought up. So I guess an 8, which is still excellent.
That's a 10 from you two, though, so I'll take it.
I've given 10s before, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And I am going to land in the middle of you guys and give it a 9. I enjoyed the elements that were heartfelt. I thought the comedy was great this episode, and I appreciated T'Pol coming back. That's gonna get the Enterprise stan in me marking out. But I also appreciated the meta critique on multiversal stories.
Yes.
And I thought that was a really clever thing of the writer's room to do. So yeah, that's been our review of episode 9, season 5 of Star Trek The Lower Decks.
No, you're a
stop.
10.
Stop.
Well, thank you.
And there's more than just Star Trek here, so if you're not already subscribed to NerdTube, you definitely should.
Oh,
We are going to have a Dragon Ball Daima review come out tomorrow night. And what else do we have going on soon, fellas?
Well, I'm watching a lot of shows right now. I might do some season reviews. Like obviously there's the Dune show, and I just started watching a Man in Moscow, which stars Ewan McGregor, which is very interesting. And obviously there's a lot of other stuff by old Taylor Sheridan, like his Yellowstone season 5, and I did a review. I just finished watching Lioness. The reviews are for that by Zam, by the way, and I'm watching one of Taylor Sheridan's new shows called Landman. And I think Zam will review that early the season's review early next year in January.
Okay, so lots to look forward to here on NerdTube.
And of course, we're going to do a season review of Skeleton Crew when that's done.
God, I haven't even started that. By the way, there's a new poll. So anyone in the comments,
real quick. We are
Dexter.
Xanta is not the only one coming for Christmas. Doctor Who is coming back for Christmas.
ooh yeah.
And
So the
I
Whovians
just
will be
messaged our
together.
Whovian friends about doing a review for that. So fingers crossed we'll find some time to do that. I hope.
Yeah, you guys
It
have
looks
grown
fun.
in number.
It's the last. Well, Stephen Moffat says it's the last. He said the last time he wrote an episode for 15. But this Christmas episode's written by Stephen Moffat, and that should be good.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that for
Oh,
sure.
the trailer's out. So anyway,
Also, on the chat, most people agree with us. 71% says that the episode was an 8 or 9 out of 10. So most people agree with us, and 0% for a 10. Sorry, Lord Donkey, you've been voted off the island.
whatever.
You've been voted off the starship.
I never got into Dexter Daniel once. I tried to a few episodes, but I just couldn't get into it.
Oh man, Dexter was my jam back in the day. I might have to check out
Mhm.
Original Sin.
Mike loved Dexter. My husband, Mike.
We could do Mike on Mike, the Dexter review.
Looks like we should be doing, or potentially, a Who review on the 26th.
Oh.
We will see.
But by the way, Jack Quaid, there's a new movie coming out called Avashon or some shit like that. He basically plays a guy who has a medical condition where he feels no pain, and he uses that to his advantage. Let's just say that when his girlfriend gets kidnapped.
Okay. So that's been our review. I think we've chatted long enough. Plenty of reasons to subscribe to NerdTube. And we'll be back next week, same time, same channel, to review the final episode ever of Lower Decks.
Series.
No,
I know. It's bittersweet. It's going to be bittersweet. I know.
Very sad.
But I want to thank my co-hosts, Lord Donkey, Cousin Cheeto, and Santa Claus. I want to thank the audience. Wouldn't be here without you guys. Until next time, live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.